Hey guys, sorry I can't be there with you today. I will be back on Thursday to make sure that we are progressing on our driving questions project. Just want to get you rolling today. You have the entire class period to work on your driving questions project. Just want to let you know that I will have a random schedule of when people will be meeting with me, so you need to make sure that you're using your time effectively in class. I know that some of you might struggle with that, and you know who you are, but you need to have progress shown on this document that you see in front of you right now. I've shared this in an email. It is a view only, so you will need to make a copy. Make sure you name it with your last name, first name, and the rest of the water resource water pollution project. This is a document. It's a working document, which means it's going to be morphing as you're working on your project. This is time for you to be creative in how you address and how you go at your driving question. Obviously, the first part is, what is your driving question? I've left all of the large Post-its up on the front board, along with the document that for the project that I created this summer. That was the Foxconn project with some of the aspects that you're going to be working on for your project. Next class, like I said, you'll be meeting with me. You will also be putting a small poster up for feedback from people to see what kind of questions they have for you. So one thing that you should think about, you can go at this in many different angles on how you want to start this. I think the first thing you want to start with is potentially your driving question or your intended audience. So that's why I put those two things first on this document. You can look at all of the questions that you guys have created so far. You guys have done a great job creating a lot of those questions. Some of them have obviously a lot more meat on the bone than others, and the research that can be done and the connections that can be made. So you want to choose something, and if there's something that's not on these documents, you're welcome to create your own driving question that you want to do your project based around. So with that being said, you need to focus on either who your intended audience is first or your driving question. Obviously, are you targeting, when you think about your audience and the driving question, are you looking to give information to the public, to a certain group of people, to voters, to students, to homeowners? I mean, there's so many different ways that you can look at this. So if you're looking at your driving question, you also have to think about what audience you're trying to reach. So those are two key things. You want to be specific with the intended audience in your driving question, and then the rest will develop from there. Obviously, after driving question, I have the follow-up question. So what other questions do you need to ask so that you are able to gather the correct information and while doing your research so that you have a good basis of information? That leads into the content needed. So what content information do you need to have a solid background on to complete your project? What kind of research questions are you going to look into? What are the main topics? And you can start that research today in class. I also have, we're going to come back to major products and how you're going to make this public momentarily, but I have the two rubrics that I'm going to be looking at. So this is, the first one is the critical thinking. So analyze the driving question and begin inquiry. So once you've developed your driving question, all of these things follow up. So obviously you can see like 1, 2, 3 above standard. So this is open, because this is where you're going to end up putting your information, how you went above if you're looking for that 4. So these are the criteria for a 3, 2, and 1. If you're looking to achieve that 4, how are you going to achieve that 4 with this project? So you have analyzing your driving question, and these documents are attached for you guys to take a look at. The information that you're gathering and that you're evaluating as well. And then obviously evidence that you are using to create your project. And last but not least, the justifying choices considering alternative implications. So all of these are very detailed. You need to take time to look through these. I also have this rubric, the innovation rubric. So this is getting into the actual project and how you make it public piece. So define a creative challenge. So understands the purpose driven through innovation. So what are you trying to strive for? What do you want people to get out of your project? What should they walk away with? Obviously sources. So I'm looking at the sources that you use. That's all laid out here as well. and then generate and select ideas. So like once you are looking at, okay, here's what I want to do. Now it's how am I going to move forward with the project piece of this and how I'm going to make this public? What products can I produce to show to the public? So that's all identified here as well. And then this is the last part of it is the actual product itself. Is it new? Is it creative? Is it fun? Does it get your audience involved? Depending on where you end up on this spectrum. So I have the 2 rubrics, actually 3 rubrics for you to look at. I would definitely spend some time looking at this first, then get into developing your driving question and starting your research. So I didn't want this to be the day that I was rolling out. I knew I wasn't going to be here. I was hoping that we were going to get to roll this out last week on Friday. Obviously, we had snow day. Now, I'm not going to turn on a snow day. I'm sure everyone had a good time not coming to school. So obviously there's going to be questions. There's going to be things that I'll be able to answer when I meet with you. Just a reminder, though, the idea is that the order in which you're going to be meeting with me is going to be random. So it's not like I'm going to go alphabetically. I'm going to scramble it up, and that's how I'm going to meet with you. You need to prove that you have done something during your time on this day. Me not being here and having a substitute teacher is not the ideal situation, but this is where we're at. So we got to take it in stride and hope that things work out well. I think a big part of this is you are going to get out of this what you put into it. You guys have had such great ideas. I want to see you guys continue with that, and really this is you being able to take ownership of what you want to learn more about. We've covered so many different topics in water resources and water pollution, and all the things that are happening in our current events, that there's got to be something that's triggered something with you that I hope that you can take and run with. So the document that I have shared with you is what you're going to be working on. Make sure you make a copy. That would be this document that we were just looking at. I know it's very blank, but this is your canvas. This is where you're going to start. So this is where you're going to start putting your stuff together for this project. Meeting with you guys on Thursday. Be ready for that meeting. You should have something in every one of these categories. I want brainstorming. You could have so many things right here, and then I want to meet with you and discuss where you want to go with it and get an idea with what you want to do for the end product. And that's where you and I can whittle that down and make a final decision together, and I can help you through this process. So you have this, you have the 2 rubrics, and you have the world at your fingertips. So start looking into what you want to do, and I hope you guys take it and run.